So in this video I want to talk about milky colors. You can also call them chalky colors. Some people just say grayed up color. But it's basically when you are painting things and the shadows of your items or whatever you're painting is milky, or it looks like it doesn't have the richness of the color. And this can be confusing, but it's actually a very simple thing to understand. Milky color is simply color that is too blue. Now, it may not seem like it looks too blue, but anytime you see a color that looks milky, it simply means that there's more blue in it. Now, a lot of times the reason it looks more blue is because you've got too much white in there in your shadow to lighten it, as opposed to a yellow. If you look at my simple palette of colors, there are two colors that you use to lighten. One is white and one is yellow. And very often people use white 90% of the time when they should really be using yellow. So that's one reason that colors can be milky. The other big reason, and I'm going to explain to you how to fix this. It's actually very simple, but I just want to define what milky color really is. A lot of times when people look at their color and it looks too milky, they also mean that it's too light and it's not dark enough, and that's also a big issue. So if your color is too milky or too grayed up, but it's also too light, then you need to darken it down and make it a darker value. But as far as the milkiness goes and how to get rid of it, you simply add orange to the color. So what do I mean by orange? There's a lot of different versions of orange. There's the very lightest version of orange, which would be yellow and red mixed together, or just a pure orange color that's, a bright orange. And then there's the very darkest orange colors, which would be like burnt umber, which is a very deep, dark orange color, or burnt umber with a little red in it. Or if it isn't that dark, you can use burnt umber with a little yellow and possibly a little red, depending on which way you want to push it. But basically, these are the colors that are the opposite of blue. So in other words, if you have a painting like this little ball that I've just painted up to do this demonstration with, if you look at the shadows here, they're all too gray, even too blue, and these are maybe even especially blue because it's sitting on an orange table and it stands out. But it's the same thing. These are milky colors, and in order to get rid of that milky color, I'm just going to go in there with some pure burnt umber. It immediately gets rid of all that milky color. So keep that in mind. Now, it's not always going to be just burnt umber. As I move up in the shadow here, as I get toward the light part, if I want to get rid of the blue or the milky, I need to add not just burnt umber, but maybe a little yellow and a little red, because the value or the darkness is not quite as dark. But in general, it usually is the easiest thing, and way to eliminate milky color is simply to add like a burnt umber to it. And the burnt umber is like a deep dark orange almost, and it takes that milk right out. So that's really something that's easy to fix. Obviously when you paint things in, when you're mixing some color into like a black, there's a lot of blue in that black, and so it comes out. The white does, and it makes it more milky, but you can eliminate that by just going heavy on the burnt umber or heavy on the warm colors if you're not using burnt umber. So I hope that's helpful, and we'll see you guys in the next one.